Hey there, everybody. All right, looks like this is working. I have not played this game in a while. Taking a bit of a break today from Persona. I was just getting driven absolutely insane from Tartarus over and over again. Um, I wanted to check out Mechabellum. I really like this game, but I have to come into it, play it a little bit, and then sort of like walk back out of it every once in a while. It's not a game that I feel like is one that I want to stick to necessarily. It's one that I like sort of trying out and then playing it and figuring out what's going on, then jumping back and forth on it. Um, so I do want to try changing out a little bit about some stuff here. So we're going to try a slightly different style of build on this guy. We're going to get rid of this. We're going to get this in. We're going to get rid of this, and we're going to add in that. Okay. And then I also want to try messing around with this thing. I think I was messing around with it with assault mode. I don't love assault mode, but there's definitely some value to it. I kind of still want to try like to build a viable shooting squad thing, but honestly speaking, I don't think that that's actually been competent in a while, unless they've changed something about it. But yeah, let's get back into it. The things that basically have always bothered me about this game probably have not changed, but I don't actually know the difference between ranked and casual. There's probably no real difference there. This one affects my MMR and rank. Honestly speaking, like the difference between these two, like unless they do something bizarre, a casual game should actually still have like an MMR and a rank system. It's just it probably doesn't show it to you. Would be the only difference because they had nothing and they just match you against whoever. That would absolutely be crazy. Okay, I don't really actually prefer these kinds of things here. This is starts with mechanical evolution, involves a select friendly unit into a random unit worth 100 more supply. Interference beacons start with one interference beacon. First, the select enemy units to follow a designated path. The affected enemy gains plus 50% attack, plus 100% HP, and plus 3 speed for this round. I don't know. That sounds like that could be kind of interesting, but I'm not really that interested. I don't think it sounds interesting enough for me to want to do that. The base game mode is usually what I find most interesting in these kinds of games because that's where you got like the actual measure of your skill at the sort of basic mechanics of the game rather than trying anything crazy. I kind of am surprised that there's no new units since the last time I played this. That's kind of interesting. A lot more of them did seem to get added to the regular roster rather than being like a sort of pool of things that you can sort of voluntarily unlock at certain intervals, but I'm not sure how much of a difference I think that really makes. All right. Yeah, so I will be back though on to Persona on the grind on Wednesday. I'm hoping I can clear it out pretty soon here because like the last month in these games has always been pretty bad, but it's worse in Persona 3 uh, than it was in Persona 5 or Metaphor. All right, what do I want to try here? I think we're gonna try doing something I don't normally like doing here. We're gonna go with Quick Supply. Quick Supply giving you an extra 200 resources, like for the first round, is just not really that good, generally speaking. But it can lead you to a position where you're in a pretty good advantage. I'm not sure I love this. Okay, this is a difference to the UI. I'm not sure I love that. Um, I liked the old one in terms of like it being perfectly acceptable, but I can kind of see what they're going for by changing it to this. I don't know. All right, so we need something that's kind of chaff-like against these guys, but they actually have okay chaff clear. We're probably looking at getting fangs here as the addition, or we could actually go skip straight to like Mustangs. So I think we'll actually go with those. May have been a mistake considering that we got these things. Actually, yeah, let's... No, this will be fine. So the thing is, we're going to try and go for fairly carry-heavy Mustangs if we're going this route. For right now, though, we may want to just go for... I don't know, I think we go for them. I don't think we're necessarily going to win round 1 with this, but that's fine. Although, probably not the right mentality to have for a quick supply specialist, if I'm totally honest with you. Alright, so we are going to want to buy the thing that lets us get rid of these fire badgers. Now, did my opponent not go for any chaff? He got another one of these guys, which is actually kind of the worst thing possible for me. We are locked onto him with our sniper against the right target, though, so that's good. The fact is, he's also like locked onto the wrong things with his guys, so we will take that out. But this is going to be a bit trickier. Alright, so this is fine. Alright, let's go with the improved Void Eyes. Yeah, let's go with that. We'll go ahead and get Void Eyes. Take 2 of those, and then we're just going to go ahead and get the attack increase. And what we're going to want to do with these guys is sort of mix them in on our front line and give them that electromag armor. Well, I'm not sure if electromag armor works that well in this situation. It should be okay. The real problem is the fire badgers are just not very good. They've gone for heal on these guys. I think that's all he took, though, but still. I think I kind of have to have, like, Electromag on these guys, which I don't have, so he probably detected that and is just going to roll over me for a while here. But this is what Electromag armor is kind of for here. Do we get that early? I don't know if we do. We also get scorpions here. These with the acid attack would actually be able to melt through all this stuff relatively easily. These things will still be a liability, but that's kind of okay. I think we are going to try and win on this side. This is 300. That's kind of perfect. Okay, so we get the Electromag armor. Get a couple more of these guys. We'll throw this group over here. And we'll put it one tile behind where this thing's going to end up when we get that thing on this side. So this thing we're going to want to like get the acid attack on. And that's going to be, I think, quite powerful. They've gone for the rhinos. That's interesting, because I don't think they're actually that good necessarily. Timing that could not have been a little bit more unfortunate, really. You take that guy out, though. Okay. We'll take the additional deployment slot. Go ahead and grab this thing's acid attack that we wanted. Get another one of them. And what we're going to do now is get some crawlers, because we should have been getting more chaff like way earlier. But this should be actually fine, I think. So these things with acid are actually ludicrously good at just sort of dealing with a lot of problems. And I think we just start spending, like, all our money on chaff in the next, like, 3 rounds here. We could also get upgrades, of course, but, like, 3 chaff per round, basically. What's this? Rhino increases HP by 2.5 and attack by that every round. Okay. This thing needs extra range. It's not capable of hitting targets from far off enough. That was some serious lag there for some reason. Alright. Take the advanced offensive. That's pretty expensive, but I needed to get this like ages ago, but let's go ahead and get the field recovery now. We'll drop that on to these guys here. Get 2 of these, and I need to have longer range. Okay, why can't I put that down there? There we go. And then I want them distracted on the side here. I'm going to put it over here. Let's see what I can pull with that. No, actually, he's got too much stuff that's sort of like loitering back there. Okay, we'll put that there. And I kind of have to do this here. Just get one more of these guys. A little bit more health, and then we'll just drop this over, probably over here. Don't want to hit him that. I think we're gonna die here, but you know what, that's fine. The acid is definitely helping, but these things are making it more difficult. We actually won on the left for once, which is interesting. He's like stuck sitting on the acid that actually like really hurts him. Wow, we actually won that round. Interesting. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab, I think, the incendiary bomb here. He's probably going to grab that against us, though, but that's kind of fine. Actually, no, can I undo that? No. Oh, well. Let's drop this where he's going to have less of those present, I feel like. Drop it across there, that's kind of fine. Recovery those guys. And apparently we got motions here, so grab another one of these, we'll grab 2 more of these. You guys are going to go here. I think what I want to do is do a bit of a pull over this side, like I sort of said, but instead of putting them on, like, here, I'm going to just put them over to here. Oh, we blocked that. So I have got the these guys coming in at the right time. Like, they're kind of a bit, they're in the right place. They're in the wrong time there. They're coming in too late. He might win just based on having air, because I don't have really anything that could block that. Oh no, I think I've got enough. Yeah, I took out the air. Alright. Well, I definitely don't need more fire badgers. I'm not sure why that's an option here. Stormcallers might be interesting. Wasps might be... I'm gonna get wasps. My opponent still doesn't really have anything that, like, stops that kind of stuff, so... Let's also put these up here. And no, that'll get hit by those guys. I'm gonna put them back here, I guess. Okay. Gonna unlock Vulcans here. But we're going to get 2 more Scorpions, I guess. Or we're going to only be able to get 1 more Scorpion. And then, I guess, 2 Chaff. We'll throw you guys up here. Put you guys over here. Would love to have been able to drop another shield, because apparently they're kind of working. I definitely need more Horde Clear. We're certainly not on the level with that. It's gone for Typhoons, which is interesting. Alright, so I think extended range Vulcans is what we go for here. Advanced power systems might be good. I'm going to take that. Just afford the 3rd one. Can't afford to get any upgrades this turn, but that's fine. Okay, I think this is fine. I'm going to get rid of you. I would love to be able to promote these guys, but they're a bit too expensive for that. Yeah, so we'll just get this, and we'll get this. Not 100% sure what this is for. I don't have anything that really is bothered by that. Yeah, not 100% sure what that's about, but... I mean, he might as well, really. He's gone for an Abyss. That's actually pretty dangerous for us. I don't have anything great against that kind of thing, but... yeah, I'm gonna definitely need some more serious, heavy anti-air kind of stuff here. I don't like the Raiden. I don't think it's very good. I think we go for Overlords, maybe. We could also build our own Overlords, I guess, or Abysses or whatever. That'd potentially be a counter to them using those, but maybe the Raiden with enough upgrades would be good here. electromag shot on that, maybe. I think what we do here is actually do this and then anti-air. Because this will push these guys back a bit further. And then we're going to also want a couple of these. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Get rid of another one of you. I'm going to assume he's going to drop another Abyss. I'm just going to get something unlocked here for the sake of having it unlocked. I should be doing that more often. In the event that he doesn't, I'm going to wait this side with our anti-air a little bit better. And I also want to clear out the stuff on this side a little bit faster. I can't believe I might actually win this. I'm not sure that I'm going to, but like, kind of amazed that I might. Yeah, so we'll drop this here. I just want to have an advantage on this side. Very high level bangs, it looks like. Can't really tell what's down there. Yeah, he did get another one of these things. I kind of thought he might. And I think that's it. Alright. Well, weird start to the day, but whatever. Okay. Yeah, so getting access to like the Sabertooths with heal early on, I guess, is kind of okay, but I don't know, I still feel like they're not amazing or anything like that. They haven't been great for a while, for a couple of patches, it feels like, and I don't think that that's actually them getting boosted. I think that was just me not building anything that counters them. I always did feel like they could take like way more damage than you would ideally want them to be, but yeah, part of what I was trying to do though was to use more of those eyeballs and then have that be meaningful. That I think actually gets more meaningful as the game goes on and gets further into it. I think maybe early on you start off with something else like maybe shield or extra damage or something like that rather than starting off with the electromag. Who's to say though? All right. Yeah, especially against that kind of enemy, the energy shield would have made sure that we survive one hit from them. I do wonder if like Mustang carry is still something that's as inappropriately good as it's always been. Vulcans is also something that used to be able to get to a really ridiculous place, but don't really know much about that. This has kind of got a lot of stuff I was asking questions about. Let's try this one. This one gives me a lot of the options that we're sort of talking about. Okay, so I should also check, what are we up against? We're up against an elite spec, which is always kind of interesting to be up against. We don't have the best single target, but we've got okay single target. We kind of don't have the best chaff, but we have okay chaff, so we're kind of in a weird spot for choices here. I think that what we want to pick is probably something like the Crawler. And we're just going to have to hope that we can keep these guys alive, and we'll try and make these guys more of an important part of our strategy than they have been. It's just hard to use these things. Okay, so what do I want to do with these guys? We'll keep them about here, I think. And these will be sort of centered, but I'm not loving the positioning here. He's got a lot of durable stuff here, which I don't really have the best counters against right now. But we're going sort of under the assumption that I'm going to start, like, pumping out Void Eyes. Because he's got Elite Spec, he's going to have an advantage during the early. Yeah, he went for a lot of lighter stuff. I kind of figured he would, but I wasn't really 100% sure about that. These things we don't actually have the best damage against with Mustangs. They're not super good against this kind of stuff as well, so that's also a bit of a hard situation. My opponent's definitely got the advantage here. He's definitely going to win this round, but... The actual big thing here was the amount of time it took for me to get through... What the hell's this? Get through all those light units. This is actually a good Fire Badger sort of situation. What are these? These are actually a thing. What the heck? Interesting. I don't know what that does, but we're going to sort of ignore it for now. We've got to get through their sort of heavier stuff as well, so this is potentially where we just sort of go Sabretooth as well, but I think what we're going to get is the Hounds, and we're going to build 2 more of these guys, and we're just going to get more damage and more durability. Just going to do it that way. Go there. Go there. And given how he's positioned, I want to put this thing like right here, and we'll get another one of those later. He's actually got a ton of anti-chaff, and this is not like dissuading me from thinking he's going for a ton of anti-chaff. I'm going to want to get an upgrade on these guys, and I'm not sure what it's going to be. Charge Shot is probably better into this situation than what we currently got otherwise, but Energy Shield might be what we end up taking. The thing is, like, they doesn't do anything against Tarantula. Doesn't do much against these guys either, so... This is a lot closer, but we're still going to lose this. Like, we're still at a pretty big disadvantage here. It's just, you know, much closer than it was prior. We might also take out a little bit more of their stuff here. No, not quite. Just going to hope that we got a little bit less off that, but... Came in pretty close. We could get intensive training here. I think that's going to be quite strong. Go ahead and get another one of these guys, and we're going to start just chucking levels down onto these guys. And we're going to go ahead and get Field Recovery and drop that on you. Unfortunately, this does leave us with not enough money to do anything, really, but that's kind of fine. We'll go ahead and get Sledgehammers unlocked. Get a unit of these guys, and we're just going to throw them back here. And I guess we'll throw down a promotion here. Yeah, I don't have the best upgrades for the situation. I don't really know what I would want to put down here. Suppression might be okay, but it's certainly not the ideal given the circumstances. We're mulching his chaff relatively quickly here, but it's still taking us a decent amount of time. A big part of that, I think, comes down to the fact that we are forced to get, like, quite close before we can actually do it. We are really close here, though, in terms of, like, are we winning or losing here? But losing, like, just barely every single time still means we're losing, right? Okay. Efficient giant manufacturing. We can get that, because we're actually going to probably start getting some giants here. Given what he's got here, what do I want to get? I think what we actually kind of want here is something kind of intermediate, something that sort of does well into multiple different things here. So we're going to unlock fortresses, and I can get 2 of them, it looks like, so... Alright. I can't really do anything with the money if I did that, so we're just going to go ahead and pop out there with what we got here. I want to get these guys the range enhancements and start pouring investment into those guys. Giving them extra damage and range from this position I think is going to be quite good. I don't want to necessarily over-invest into upgrades, though, in this situation. Okay, we're still losing, but we're still losing just barely. And I definitely think that we're starting to approach a position where I feel actually kind of okay about everything. Farseers in this situation are okay. They've got okay damage into the chaff stuff that I want to get rid of, so... Gonna go ahead and just chuck them back here. These guys both can get upgrades, too. It's a little bit too expensive, so we're gonna go ahead and instead get this. And I'm actually going to go ahead and weight that over here. And I guess that's kind of fine. I could actually sell one of these guys. I'm not huge into these things right now, as far as that goes. So we're going to get upgrades on these 4 guys here. And that's probably all I want to do here. I can keep losing a little bit longer. I don't really mind. Ooh, this guy's scary at level 5 Sabertooth. What the heck? Why would you do that? Alright. That thing's going to become a major problem later, but I don't think it's going to be a major problem like right now. But he does have like the ability to like one-tap a fortress here that's like level 1, so that's not ideal. This is where energy shield on these guys becomes a little bit more of a sort of priority. Yeah, especially since we're getting hit by those snipers early. The fortress surprisingly does okay damage into that little chaff there too, which is interesting. Yeah, I don't quite get one-tapped, but it's pretty damn close. Okay. That's gonna probably be a win for us off that. Yeah. Alright, things are gonna start turning in our favor here. We got that efficient giant manufacturing too, so that's gonna definitely help out here. Lightning Storm kind of sucks for us to have to deal with, but we're just gonna lose this round if he takes it. I'm fine with that. Upgrade all 3 of those guys. I can afford to get another fortress here, and if I sold something, I could get 2. I could sell this guy again, because I still don't really need these. I wouldn't mind getting range enhancement onto these guys. That's kind of what I want to have on them for their upgrades, but I think we're okay for now. I really want to get those energy shields for them, so I can't quite afford that. You know, I'm just going to get it anyway. Going to hit the rapid resupply for it. Energy shield, and then we're going to unlock melting points just in case we need those soon. And then I could try to drop shields to try and counter if he goes for the thing, but I'm just going to assume that if he drops it, we lose. And the range enhancement is going to just be way stronger than what he's got in the long run. He actually chose the weaker option. This will still, like, probably win him the round, don't get me wrong, but, like, this is so much weaker than if he had dropped an electromag. Alright, so he's going to win the round off that, and like I said, I'm kind of just fine with that. Alright. Could get a heavy armor. I think that would actually be pretty good here. Or you could get an efficient tech research. I'm going to get the efficient tech. Get those promotions down now. Get that. Okay. Could field recovery these. I don't really know what they even do, if I'm totally honest with you. We'll unlock that for the hell of it. $250 for that. Leaves me with, yeah. So we'll just do that, this. And we'll chuck these things, I think, forward. No, he's got those fire badgers. So we're going to throw these back here. Just have to keep trickling in with the chaff. Admittedly, like, we're getting dinged on our frontline stuff here, so I probably need to have a chaff forward that's capable of intercepting, like, this first shot here. And that first sniper shot, for example. This thing's got extended range now. We could actually kill the extended range off that. So we have a permanent range advantage over our opponent, though, so he has got to worry sort of about that element, which I don't think is going to go super well for him. Yeah, that got a real squish on that one. Okay. He's also got the heavy armor compared to, like, our tech advantage. I think our tech advantage is stronger than that. Alright, what do we take here? I'm going to actually take the Raiden, and actually, no, we got a rank 4 Scorpion option here. A rank 5 Phoenix? That's pretty scary, too. Let's go ahead and take the Scorpion, and we'll keep it around, but I might sell it later on here. I'm not going to upgrade these or anything like that. I'm just going to put this over here, and we'll have that be a thing. Okay, we'll get you guys to have the barrier, I think. We're going to get 2 more of you, if I can. Let's see. Oh, actually, I'm going to get just one of these guys. We'll put them there, and then we're going to get actually 2 of these fellows. Because like I said, we need to actually have some forward chaff that's capable of intercepting first wave attacks. Because we're not properly dodging those. Okay. I don't sell anything this round, so let's just go ahead and level you guys, I feel like. I wonder if he can keep fuddling levels into this one Sabertooth. He's got some really high-level stuff here, though, already. He's gone for the Phantom Rays. He's actually gone for quite a lot of them. I could go anti-air on the Mustangs, and that would instantly basically solve that. Even if they go, like, stealth or something like that, would be in a pretty good spot as far as that goes. He's got some fangs down, that's fine. Could just go for increased damage as well on some of our ground stuff here. Yeah, those things just not doing anything here. This might actually be a kill. Wow. Alright. That big of a swing is actually not something I do very often, but I guess that's one of the big advantages of like giant specialists with cheaper giants, is that you can sort of pull that kind of thing off. Because like the amount of damage that giant does when it swings for you for your hit points at the end of the match is just like kind of unparalleled. All right, well that worked. We are like in a environment where I'm like much higher level than a lot of the other people here because it reset my MMR like a while ago. So I'm like back down in the trash tier like trenches or whatever like that. So um there's probably a lot of fundamental mistakes that I'm making because I've forgotten a lot of stuff, but like I'm probably in an inappropriate MMR right now. This is probably basically smurfing. Okay, there's access to the missile spec, got training spec, Typhoon. I don't like missile specialists, but we're gonna try this. We're gonna try and go for a rush early win kind of situation here that I normally don't think works very well. Let's see here. Our composition into that is atrocious. This is like one of the worst possible compositions into what our opponent's facing got here. Okay. Assuming that our opponent is going for a mix of like these units and then get some chaff mixed in there. The only thing I don't have is like I have nothing that really hurts tougher units. So what we're going to try to do is a steel ball strat here. Normally I don't love doing this sort of strategy where I go for a flank, but I might try to do a heavily weighted sort of flank here. So we throw everything onto this side here. And we sort of just hope that we can punch through very, very quickly here. I'm gonna all in this like in this stupid way. We'll be able to put another like unit of light stuff up front there, but for now we're gonna have it like that, and then do that. Sort of layer that way. So we're gonna lose off this side. We've got the ability to block some chaff and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy there. He's actually gone for a weighted flank on the opposite side here in front of this stuff. In a way that's kind of funny to me, because he's like sort of losing a bunch of stuff for free there, whereas we're kind of not. Because of the exact way that this is going, like, we'll actually take out this thing, I think. I think we're going to win this round. Yep. Alright, so we've got a really weird sort of situation here, but I think it's actually fine. I think we're actually in a really advantageous position here. We're going to have some slower defensive units down the right side that are going to just take advantage of this sort of situation here, and I think that hounds could be part of that. Let's go ahead and drop these guys. We'll drop these here. We'll drop you over here. And we're just going to have the one drop for now. I want to draw these guys a little bit over this way, but we're going to go ahead and just get 2 steel ball for now. And then we're going to want Sabertooths, and we're going to drop Sabertooth sort of like over here. And what we're going to do is drop stuff, actually, I'm going to drop you guys like back over here. Maybe even further back. What we want to do in this situation is actually have stuff that sort of goes fall back, and then this gets fortified to hell. And I think that that would be our best call here. Regular crawlers, they're unupgraded. That's going to be fine for us. He's hoping to sort of get through there faster, but he's also just dropping a ton of missiles on us. Like, that's fine. He's hoping that we can't win fast, I think, off of this. And he actually pivoted a lot of stuff onto his other side here, which is interesting. But spending 100 on missiles on this turn, I think is going to actually end up losing in this. Okay, Elite Phoenixes might be interesting here, but let's get none of this. I'm going to get none. Okay. If he keeps buying missiles, that's also fine, but what we can actually do is just buy 1 missile interceptor and just drop it, like, right over here. That would potentially block enough of that we're fine, but yeah, I think we do that. Okay, so I'm going to get another, these hands here. Drop these over here, and we're going to get a Sabertooth. And we're going to put it back here. Then we're going to go ahead and get this fortified. And we're going to fortify this like 2 more times or whatever. But drop that there. And we've got this all going on over here. I think this is relatively just everything we kind of need here. Oh, what was this upgrade? This is new, isn't it? Increases the range. That's interesting. I didn't have this guy far enough back. My opponent put more stuff on the left? I think they did. Interesting. I don't really need any of these. Let's grab this. Okay, so what exactly is this? Text generates shockwave, dealing 82 damage within 30 meters. That's interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay. Either way, let's go ahead and grab a couple of these guys. We're going to throw them up over here. I do kind of want range, though. So we'll have to wait till next turn for that, regardless. The shockwave on that is interesting. I don't necessarily know that I've got the wherewithal or gumption to actually stop that, but I think that we just have something that sort of swings over here, deals with these guys. Like, we drop another Sabertooth that's there to deal with them, and then we sort of have that sort of be a thing that we do. He's thrown a lot into these arc lights. Oh, the shockwave is around the target. That feels actually really broken. I think that that should have been around the arc light itself. Although it does functionally, I guess, just increase the radius of it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like that upgrade as an addition to the game. I feel like that's a little bit overpowered. Could drop a Wrath, have that be a slowdown on this side, especially over here. I'll drop this actually over this side. Give you guys range. Give you guys range. And then we're going to go ahead and get that and that. Kind of feel like actually throwing this over to this side. Well, he dropped that in the right spot. These, on the other hand, not so much. Okay. I don't love any of these. I'm going to skip that one. Going to go ahead and drop this here, actually. The missiles I still think are a little bit meh. I don't think they're that great, but I do need to have better chaff clear, but the way that you do that in this case is you go armor-piercing bullets, and you get like 2 more groups of Mustangs. Just sort of like have them over here, I guess. Okay. One's got improved wasps. He's put a lot of resources into these wasps for some reason. Which is weird, because even if you do that, like, I've got so many Mustangs and they're so strong right now that I don't think that's going to really work for him. Okay, shield airdrop maybe? Yeah, we'll go shield airdrop. Drop that, like, right here. Make it so that this takes as long as possible to fall. Gonna go ahead and get another couple of units on this side. But we could do something crazy here as well. Maybe I should actually be getting some artillery here. Going for an electromag. Drop on me, that's interesting. I really would like these guys to level. These Sabertooths getting more levels would actually help me out a lot. think that electromag that they dropped on us actually made a big difference. Which is kind of interesting, actually. On the other hand, we're winning on the right somehow. We did lose the missile thing. We did drop 2 shields this round, so we're kind of up on that. And we actually win the round. In spite of all that. Okay. I'm gonna skip here. Actually, no, I'm gonna pick up the fortress. Promote this. I'm gonna go ahead and grab field recovery. I'm gonna get rid of you. I'm gonna add in mountain. I'm gonna put you back here. Drop a Vulcan's Descent over here. Drop you over here. Get these. He's got the high damage Vulcan, which is dangerous to us, but we might be okay through that if we play our cards kind of rightish, maybe. I think that we could get another Sabertooth. Drop it sort of like right over here. And then we'll sort of like throw some maybe toughness boosters onto that. He'll also have to deal with that thing. That's probably fine. I'm going to want upgrades on this thing, so I'm going to save some money. Okay, I think we're going to lose this round, and that's kind of okay. So I think we're actually in a really good spot for next round. I don't really want any of these things. Let's go ahead and skip for the extra cash. Admittedly, the cash is probably not the most important thing right now, but... Which one's this? Scorching Charge. This is the sort of one where they rush at you after they've sort of already exploded. I'm going to get one of you guys. I'm going to give you guys anti-air, because that'll give me range on air. I'm going to go ahead and get this. And drop you guys back there. Field recovery these guys. And we're going to go ahead and get you guys... Yeah, it's the extended range ammo we're going to get. I'm gonna have you guys being diggers. Well, I'll just nuke this guy. Oh, that's gonna get them maybe instead. Oh no. I do need to get more anti-air on this side. But we're, I think, okay here. Okay, advanced missiles, don't really want those. Go ahead and skip. Promote this guy. One of these gonna go back here. More like here, actually. Okay. Gonna do a little bit of this sort of thing now, because I want to try and push for a win at this point in time. In fact, we're gonna try very hard for a win here. Because I think we can actually do it like this round. That's interesting. He's also going for the same thought pattern here. I think the Electromag actually got through there impressively. I need mountains to actually have anti-air. He didn't actually finish me off on that, which is actually good for me because, you know, I think he actually did outspend me on that one. I'm going to actually go ahead and get the advanced shields. I'm going to drop these here. Okay, I don't know if this is going to drop my attack down to 0%. Nope, it doesn't. Okay, that's fine then. Okay, I think we just go completely crazy this turn. Alright. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yep, that's pretty accurate. Okay. Oh god, is my game gonna crash? Okay, I'm gonna lose here though. Man, I feel like they boosted wasps. The things that used to counter them do not counter them, it seems like. Oh, I can't hit air anymore. I'm not gonna lose off that though, that's actually really impressive. Okay, Typhoons, those could be helpful here. Where do I want to drop this? I'm going to drop him back here. That's going to probably be the most disruptive spot I can put him. Okay. I think what we actually do here is we just want to have enough random stuff that's like just in the way that it helps. I wouldn't mind having some of the other stuff be tougher. So having these guys with shields out would be good here. Go ahead and drop more of these things this turn. This is where we hope that we can actually do something and finish them off. But that didn't work last time. Decent chance it doesn't work this time. But basically anything that keeps our Mustangs alive longer is going to be really, really good here. So that's really what we're sort of after here, is keeping those Mustangs alive longer. These wasps are absolutely vicious, the amount they spent on them. Well, that's not good. Well, it only blocks the first one, so not gonna block the second one. I have not seen this game go to this stage very often. It's actually really rare. I think that lone mountain is gonna like solo the rest of it. That's actually really good. Okay, well, gonna take that. This one's also probably gonna take that. Upgrade these guys, obviously. Upgrading that would be really strong here. My opponent has got a lot of drops that he can do this turn, and a lot of, like, just bullshit, but let's drop whatever we can here. Okay. Let's just do some distraction drops here, I think, in the back. Opponent is probably also going to drop like a bunch of shields and stuff like that this turn. But, you know, that's relatively fine. This is a very stupid round here. This is... I've never seen a game that, like, is coming this close to just crashing my computer. This is, like, by far the farthest I've gotten into this kind of thing in both cases. I think this guy actually sticks out of the shield bubble, so I don't think he actually is protected from that. Oh no, he is. Okay. That's actually really good. I think we're going to win this round again. I think it's going to be the exact same kind of thing as last time. Where Ultra Mega Duper guy just kills everything by himself. Alright. This one guy. He's one-guying them. Alright, they've got nukes. He's going to probably take that. That's actually really bad for me. He might actually be able to knock me out. I probably should have taken nukes. Although he hasn't gone through all our shields either, so... He might not have the gumption to get through our stuff here. I don't know. Let's do a Double Typhoon drop. Put them up right up here. This one's right up here. He almost certainly is going for the nuke. Like, I feel very strongly that that's extremely likely with this guy. Man, I'm not used to getting into this late of a game here. Oh, I'm not allowed to place any more deployables. That's actually really interesting. I didn't know there was a maximum on that. He didn't drop a nuke. Oh no, there it is. There it is. I don't actually know that this is going to work. Because this guy's still fine. In fact, we actually won that one way harder than every other round. Okay. Alright. Well, I don't know. That one was wild. Yeah, I've never had a match like that one. There's apparently new upgrades. I'm gonna check these. These things seem kind of wild to me. Okay, so Shockwave is the new one for these guys. Let's unlock that. I think this is actually a little bit crazy, the amount of distance that goes. The actual damage on the splash is actually quite low, but I'm assuming that levels based on levels. So that's actually interesting. Is there anything new for these guys? Nope. Oh, grenade launcher. Fang switches to grenade launchers. Increase range by 5. Attacks deal splash damage in 7-meter radius, but cannot target air units anymore. These guys were never actually good as an anti-air counter. The fact that they could hit air was kind of just like a nice bonus. So this changes Fangs into like a really crappy AoE sort of like a chaff clear unit. Mixing the range enhancement and the grenade launcher enhancement together is kind of interesting, but I'm not 100% sure what I think about this one. We'll still unlock it, but there's no reason for us not to. Okay, for Hounds, they've got access to chamber compression. Hounds attack increases by 35% per second. Its bonus resets after attacking. I wonder how much that can stack. I don't feel like this is very good because you should ideally be like attacking for most of the time. Honestly, you shouldn't be like holding back and not attacking for too long. Let's actually just check what sort of things are available before we commit to spending anything on that. We already checked these guys. Marksmen, they're nothing new there. These guys are the same as always been. Still absolutely crazy. I've won 3 out of 3 games, and I was like losing all 3 of them really badly. It's kind of weird. Today's strange. I feel like they've swapped something about like tempo, where it's like if you're like way behind, you suddenly are better. Let's see here. The ball gains 1 meter extra range for every 7 meters it moves up to a maximum of 100 meters. So what's their default range here? It's 45, so you could basically triple their range. So that's kind of interesting. The problem is like in terms of like stacking that, because you have to move 700 meters to stack it to full. You're never gonna really do that. I don't feel like. Fire Batcher, they've got access to the Scorching Charge. This one they've had for a while. I just haven't bought it. Yeah, I don't know. Increases HP by 50%, taking damage. Increases the Fire Batcher's range by 70. Yeah, that's been around. I just haven't really bought it. Sabertooths, they're the same as they've always been. Same as it ever was. These guys are same. These guys have combat evolvement. Rhino's HP increases by 2.5 and attack by 4.5 per second during the battle. So if you can keep a Rhino alive longer, then the more dangerous they get. The reason that this is like risky is that Rhinos are notorious for getting like hackered. And making it so that you've got a super like strong rhino that's been hacked is going to make it so that you're in a really rough position, especially if it's like still gaining more hit points as time goes on. These guys are the same. These guys have ground targeting. Decreases Phantom Ray's attack range, attack by 40%, but increases attack range against ground units by 60. So you do a lot less damage, but you have better range just against ground and not against air units. I'm not sure I like that. I'm not sure I think that that's what I would want out of these guys necessarily. Wraths, land cruiser. Becomes a ground unit. Can no longer attack areas, but its attack range increases by 50 and its attack interval increases by 0.5 seconds. That's a lot of downside for something that's already kind of a marginal unit. I definitely don't think that that's a bonus. I don't. You'd have to have much stronger boosts to make it so that I would want to take Land Cruiser on this. This would be the switch though. Like if you're up against a whole bunch of Mustangs and they've gone like the anti-air and they've got like a bunch of snipers, they've got the anti-air bonus. They're doing explicitly more damage against your air units. So that is a use case for it, but like I don't think that that's worth giving up those advantages. Because that's like an expensive upgrade. All right, solid shot increases fortress attack range by 60 and attack interval by 0.7 seconds. You don't actually want higher attack interval though, so I don't know why you would. I don't know why there's so many negatives about attack interval here. Decreases splash range by 2. Like it's saying it like it's a positive, so maybe they were saying that it changes your attack interval down by 0.7 seconds. In which case you'd be firing like a lot faster, but I'm not sure that that's what they're actually saying there. The fact that this thing's got a little bit of slash is not that important for it, although I've noticed that it does do better against crawlers than I remember them doing. They're actually not that bad at it. This thing, same as it's always been. That always had like way too many abilities that were really, really good there. Let's see here. You're probably the same. Yeah, I can't imagine that they would change the Overlord at all at this point in time. The Wasp got shoved like way to the back there. I wonder if this is like alphabetical now or something like that. Yeah, I haven't played this game in a long time. There's a lot of changes to it. Typhoons, they're still kind of garbage, but whatever. You guys, they're the same. Okay. Well, I think out of the ones that we saw, the ones that are kind of more interesting to me are things like the Scorching Charge. I wonder if they can be destroyed before they actually hit, though. Deals damage equal to its remaining HP to all units. That's actually really, really bad. The reason that's really, really bad is that, like, if you've taken 80% of your hit points and damage, then you're down to, like, what, 840-ish damage there on the charge. That's actually kind of pathetic. It's a large radius, though, and the fact that it's igniting the ground is kind of good, but there's a lot more stuff that counters the ground being on fire nowadays, so it's not really a big deal anymore. Okay, let's I don't know. What did I see? I saw other units having things. Let's try the rhinos. Okay, so we'll get rid of wreckage recycling. So we'll get that, and then combat evolvement. We'll try to do a rhino strat. I think rhinos have traditionally been really hard countered by certain things, and they're kind of marginal to begin with. When they do take off, they like really take off, and they're really really deadly. But then your opponent just builds the counter to them, and they just instantly fall on their faces and die. So it's like you're taking a lot of risk for like a very easily countered reward. It's really bad in that sort of sense there. The big benefit to them though is like if something locks onto it that's not supposed to be fighting them, then they just like wreak havoc. You just need to have like if you get the drop that says like, hey, you got this thing that makes us you're immune to hacking, you're immune to status effect, and they can probably be really really strong there. But Okay. What do I like out of these ones? If we're gonna try and look at getting those stupid rhinos, then the training is really good here. I just have to RNG into the right item, which, like, you know, how likely am I to get the thing that makes it so I'm immune to hacking? And the answer is, like, not very. So it's like, I don't know. I'm not super stoked about that part of this. What do I want in this situation? I forgot to get the thing on the arc lights. We're still gonna build arc lights into this composition though. We just have to really get rid of all the chaff like super, super fast here. And we're gonna go ahead and get an upgraded these guys. Okay, so I actually think that might be worth doing it like this. Because otherwise I'm like upgrading a hound and I really don't need that in this situation. Steel Ball is also pretty hackable. They're pretty vulnerable to the same things. Okay. I don't know. I don't love this composition. I don't love this deployment that much, but it's okay. I think it'll be fine. I'm actually going to swap. I'm going to actually do a hard push to the side here. The reason is like these things. There's so many statics defenses here that I think it's just more sensible to do it that way. Okay, so the Fire Badgers are going to be deadly against like some of my stuff here, but not to the stuff that some of the stuff here. I don't have like chaffy units, so the Fire Badgers are just not really doing it. And we're able to power through with the Steel Ball, which is rare. Steel Ball is kind of garbage. Okay, in this situation, I would love to have something like the Fangs or the Stormcallers or the Mustangs. Those are all good here. I think the strongest option is going to be something that has more range, though, to avoid getting bodied by those sort of tanky-like things. So I'm going to go for these guys, and we'll have them sort of follow behind them. And we'll go ahead and grab some crawlers, I feel like. Hounds, I think, are a good chaff type unit given the circumstances, though, so sticking to those, I think, is kind of fine. And I think I would actually like to get more of them, so we're going to go ahead and go that, and we're going to catch up for that unit that we were lacking at the start here by getting one more of these things. I'm going to put you there. So I want to put them, kind of want these guys like here-ish. Okay. That should be fine. That should work. These guys are giant spec. He has gone all in on whatever the hell it is he's doing, hasn't he? Okay, so they will burn through this. That's fine. These things, I don't actually know what these are really destroyed by. I don't know if they are destroyed. Alright. Here's where we can go ahead and get that rhino. I don't love this. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves Let's hit skip. Let's hit skip. I think that's the right call here. We're gonna go ahead and grab our rhino here. It's not a great moment for it, but we get access to the intensive training, so we can do this right away. And we can also go whirlwind, so immediately gonna just instantly give that group. That does mean we're behind on units again, but like, who cares? He's gone for double Raiden. Raiden, I don't know. I have nothing that really counters that, so like he's gonna win this round, but that's kind of fine. I'm not sure what I'm gonna choose for this round for my anti-air though. Yeah, so this thing's gonna have gotten like a ton of just free experience off of killing those two full units all on their own. So that works out quite okay, right? Like that's kind of fine. Are we still going to be able to pull off the kill here with just these Mustangs because they're getting tanked for from so many other things? We might. We did. Alright, cool. That's fun. Okay, super heavy armor, subsidized Mustang. Get those subsidized Mustangs here. We do need something that can take out these things pretty consistently, so we're going to have to do something about that. We're going to grab Marksman, make them available, but we can just go for Mustangs this turn. And that would actually be quite strong. And we can give these guys the aerial spec. I would love to also give these guys mechanical division. That would be great. He sold off one of those units down there because he's like, oh yeah, I'm just feeding a lot of experience into those guys. That's not ideal. So he got out of there, which I think is the right call for him. But that does put him behind a little bit because that's like a round of recruitment that he's lost. Fire Badgers, they're not going to work super well into this, but that does imply that I should not go Mechanical Division. But what I should get is Armor Enhancement. He doesn't really have a great composition into that. Yeah, this guy just instantly wiped the unit again. So the air spec is making it so that these guys are taking like a lot more damage, but more importantly, it makes it so that these guys lock on preferentially to anti-air. You know, we are going to lose this round though. We don't have any more anti-air, but what did he actually drop over here that he beat you with? Also, what did he get on these guys? Kinetic charge? That clearly does actually make a difference in range. Haste module, blah, blah, blah. None of that, please. Okay. He's going to sell these guys. That's fine. It was probably from the fire effect from these guys. Okay. Go ahead and get fire extinguisher on them. And we're going to go ahead and get another level on him. We can also get this. And then we're going to go ahead and get a couple of these guys. Oh, I don't have what I thought I did on these guys. That's going to suck. Okay. Maybe we don't get them. Maybe just undo that. Because what I wanted to do is actually have the ability to do something else here. Let's drop you guys back here, maybe? Nah, let's not. It's gone for 4 Raidens. on the one side here. It's got a haste module, that's fine. I still haven't found the item I need, but I don't think I'm going to. Like, which is quite annoying, but whatever. I need to see how this is actually panning out on this side, because depending on how this is going, I might not be able to actually do... Oh, he's been dropping these things on this side. So we're actually pulling ahead, that means. I thought that he was doing it through some other means, but nope, he's doing it the lazy way. Okay, so the fact that we're able to sort of like get rid of all that fire means that we're keeping alive with some of that stuff here. And so I will have to do something about these ravens here, but that's kind of fine. I think we're ultimately going to be okay here. I wouldn't mind doing Melting Point to sort of counter that. I think range enhanced Melting Points is going to be good here. For now, we're not going to do the range enhancement, though. What we're instead going to do is start getting some Void Eyes. And we're going to give these guys the Electromagnetic Armor. Going to go ahead and get the Mechanical Division on these guys. And I think that's all we can afford, so we're going to go ahead and grab these. Yeah, so I definitely need the range on this fella. I should have also bought some more units, but that's relatively okay. We did pop both of those mines, so we're pushing ahead because, like I said, he hasn't got as much money because he's been spending it on stuff like mines, giving me an advantage here. I kind of want to also give these guys the energy shield because, again, we're trying to counter mostly the Raidens at the end of the day, so we're going to start pushing up with them just across here, just a bunch of them. But we don't want them too far forward. Just a little bit ahead of these guys or whatever. Steel Ball here would also be good, just because they'd be taking those hits. He dropped more mines again, so again, that's good for us. Using the Steel Ball to counter my, what's it called? That's what's going on there. Okay, I want to hit this so that he's losing it again. Perfect. So every turn, like, we're putting an extra 100 value onto the field, but he is kicking our asses pretty badly, so we have to be a bit worried about it. Okay, we have to take that, unfortunately. Add that. And we're just going to throw in a couple of these guys, like I said. What's your guys' speeds relative to each other? It's 10 and 8, so these guys are slower. So let's have you guys look up here. Okay, and all right. So if my opponent comes up with a really good counter here to what we got, then he's going to basically win the game. I won't be able to really do anything about that, but that's fine. He's sort of like devoted everything to this side, and I've kind of got more to this side, but I think I'm still winning over here by enough that like I can just sort of focus this side. He's gone for the kill shot on this one. I'm not sure he can get it necessarily. He's gone for a sticky oil bomb. He's going to drop everything. He might not have time to place it and get a fire effect out, because I don't think he's got an effective one. Because it's also dealing with these things, just getting rid of that. I don't know, I guess we will actually walk past it before we can actually do that. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, my opponent's gonna definitely win this one off this. I think I'm gonna get killed by the hit points off this. I do know what I needed to get on this one. It was scorpions, but I don't want to do that here. Yeah, like, scorpions I think are really, really strong, and they would basically just win that for me, but, like, I'm trying to get that stupid, like, rhino to do something, and it's still a bad unit. Like, it just gets countered by too many different things. I'm not really sure what it needs specifically to basically make it so that it's more fun to play, basically, but it's not a good unit, really. The reason Scorpions would win is that they basically kill an unlimited number of Steel Ball. It's another reason that I don't like Steel Ball, why I think they're kind of weak, is that they get cleared way too easily by Scorpions. Scorpions like also clear out tanks way too easily. I think that those are another thing that they're too strong against. We could go for Speed Specialist or Aerial Specialist here. Either of those would be kind of interesting. Oh, I guess we go for the Rhino Specialist, and given what we're trying to do here. Again, I don't think this is a good choice, but that is what we're sort of doing here. We've got kind of an interesting composition there. I don't have any chaff, but it's kind of risky throwing that into the specific situation here. Maybe Hounds is semi-chaff. Is my opponent doing Missile Spec? I mean, something that I consider kind of weak is Missile Specialist, but I also consider what I'm taking pretty weak, so I'm going to go ahead and do a double stack of things over here, because this is probably where all the action is going to be. But we do still want to have some stuff going on over here. And then this group I kind of want to have further back like this. Okay. It's added in Marksman. So this is actually really strong against my comp here, where I'm sort of assuming that they're going to have like lots of chaff clear, because like, you know, this means that like my hounds are not going to be quite dispersed enough. I've also got probably an overcommit here because I thought he'd add something. So my opponent definitely going to win this one. There's no real way for me to come out of this one ahead, I don't feel like. Did get quite a lot of damage down on him, though. So, you know, eh. Not the worst. Elite Steel Ball. Alright, we'll unlock that. I'm not going to get that right now, because we can't really afford to. And we still don't really have the ability to throw down what we want here. This is going to be a bit of a rough round again, I feel like, but... what we're going to do here is like this. Taking a deployment module, so he's probably going to be doing some cheese. blows up like all my stuff, that's fine. Are getting through their stuff a lot faster thanks to what we take, but center turret manages to take out an okay amount of stuff as well here. Problem for us is going to be like a steel ball costs 400, so we're not getting any of those anytime soon. But we'll get a lot of value on the table relatively soon here. I just need to sort of like not die before our Rhino comes out on round 4, which is next round. So, all right, we need to get some chaff here. Let's get crawlers. Okay, grab those. Grab those. And I'm going to do something weird. I'm going to actually get those things. It's not like an ideal situation for us, but that's fine. This would also potentially solve some of our problems, so we're going to grab that. Our opponent has gone for air units. That's going to actually be impossible for me to deal with, but that's fine. Again, we're trying to survive this round. We're not trying to win it. I just hope that he only manages to kill this one shield. That's what we're sort of hoping for. I'm assuming he's probably going to drop another missile strike at something, but maybe not if he's going for that. One of the things about this game is you can't really, if you're playing like properly, force unit compositions or choices. Why did that go for that? That was wild. Yeah, that did not feel fair at all. The ignite percentage damage is actually coming in pretty helpful here. We're not going to be able to win this round, like we just don't have the ability to. But unfortunately he's getting that other barrier down. Okay, well, that's fine. That does mean I wasted a whole bunch of money, but he spent about the same in getting the upgrades that he got, so I'm kind of okay with that. He didn't actually get that. He actually lost those things before he could get it. That's really good, actually. The Sabertooths. Melting Point. Melting Point gives me some AA. Because he might actually be like, okay, we'll get an air unit at this point in time, because, you know, can't deal with that. Could put you there, and that would actually fix that problem. The question is, does he just drop like a chaff unit in front of this turn? And the answer is probably yes. So we're just going to do this. We'll grab arc lights as an option here. And I'm going to go ahead and get... Well, we'll drop this, but we'll go ahead and get another one of these and another one of these. Nope, no, he just sold it. I'm not 100% sure about what this is for, because he's got... I don't think he's got fire there. It would have made more sense if he also dropped one of these guys there, right? I guess it's to slow me down, actually. Which is a rare thing. You don't usually people using that for a slow. Or maybe he thought I would light it on fire, but I'm not actually sure I do. I probably do. I don't know. If it weren't for the fact that none of the targets I'm hitting are on top of that. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Mass-produced rhino sucks. Let's go ahead and get... Man, I do not like these options here. Okay, we'll grab the rhino assault. We'll drop this back here. Just be a distraction. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get some more of this sort of stuff here. Go ahead and grab another recruitment. Next turn, I think we're going to start working on steel balls. I think that that's going to be the sort of right call for that. But for this turn, let's go ahead and get a fire badger. Because they're actually kind of okay the way we're using them here. I have to drop another shield, though. So I guess we'll drop another one of these guys, and then we'll... Yeah. Yeah, that distracted an okay amount of them for a little bit, but honestly I could have been better. I guess he dropped the oil for this turn, but I'm not 100% sure that that actually benefited him that much. What's alive on my side here? Alright, there we go. Jeez, okay. Nope. I guess we'll do this. What I probably want to do here is actually take some electromag, but like this guy still hasn't done anything. Like this is like not that surprising that it hasn't, I guess, but like, man, I wish I could get it to do something. All right. Let's through this one. Gonna get this. And I'll get rid of you. I'll get rid of this next turn. Goes our shield, I feel like. Pretty damn sure. But yeah, I can definitely tell like we're doing okay with the missiles are helping quite a bit actually. I would love to add fire to those. I think that's what we're gonna do. Vulcan also helps, I think, here. Grab that. Just put them centered. think is fine. Missiles and wasp swarms are available to my opponent this turn. The wasp swarm is a little bit less of a concern right now because we do have some anti-air, but it's not great anti-air. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of these. We're pretty dispersed. I kind of don't worry about the missiles, I think, right now anymore. Well, we still got one. I might as well try a guess. I'm gonna drop it over here. Oh, no, it dropped to the other side. That's kind of fine, though. He has bought some missile defense units, but... who knows how long those are going to really help him. He has gone for, like, a ton of air, though. Maybe I just need to commit more to the Rhino. I don't know. It feels like that would just have not won me anything, though. Like, I definitely still would have lost. I feel always afraid to, like, just build, like, a ton of Rhinos because I know that they're just going to get hackers at that point in time. Because, like, you can easily beat Rhinos with hackers. Like, if you get one hacker, you can beat, like, 3 Rhinos, basically. They're a super, super hard counter, which kind of sucks that when the counter system is like that extreme for a unit that doesn't get you that much value. Because the sandworm does the same sort of things as the rhino does in a lot of ways. I think that like the rhino doesn't need like this. This was not a good addition to it because it doesn't fix fundamentally the sort of problems that it has. Power armor kind of does because if it's moving faster, you can like sort of have it move out there faster and have it sort of work there. Hey, Moritz, you got me just as I'm about to leave. I'm leaving in 1 minute for work today. But yeah, the problem with combat development is like they added it and it doesn't really do anything additional for the Rhino. Already has really good damage. It's already really tanky. The problem for it is like the specific counters to it are really extreme. Yeah, so I kind of wish that that instead of adding this one, they added something that made it do something different. Yeah, just taking a break day from Persona 3. I needed to take a breather from it because like Tartarus is just such a slog. I hate Tartarus. And I've been like when you're in the last month of the game, you spend so much time there. It's the same with Persona 5 and Mementos. Like you spend so much time in Mementos in the final level that it's just like not fun to be there for too long of a period. It's something that I think's been consistent. Metaphor also had that problem where like the last stage was really long, but they did a better job of like stringing out like interesting encounters along that way there. So that was a little bit better in that sort of sense. But like the pacing sort of falls off a cliff during the last month of Persona 3. And I kind of knew it would. It's been the same for a lot of their games. Um, but it's a bit worse in Persona 3 because like normally you'd be trying to catch up on like your social links and stuff like that. Persona 3 does this thing where like you've only got the social links available during school days for the most part. A lot of the other ones are just not available. Whereas in the other ones, they do a better job of giving you like social links during the day and social links during the night, so you can sort of do both of them. So you still got that sort of mix of doing like all the different stuff that you were doing throughout the rest of the game during that final month there. But that's not the case of Persona 3. Persona 3, it's Tartarus, Tartarus, Tartarus during the evenings because there's nothing else to do during them. So yeah, like it's one of those sections where I think they probably should have done more extreme changes to it. But I kind of knew they wouldn't. When I saw that Tartarus hadn't really changed, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna probably be about the same. So that's not really a huge deal though. I still like the game. I'm still gonna finish it. But yeah, like Man, I'm glad they've sort of learned a little bit as they go along and change things incrementally, but this is one of the things that they've sort of stuck with it that I think is kind of weird. You understand? Yeah, yeah. But nay, of it though, it is past 2 o'clock. I need to get going for work, so I will talk to you on Wednesday.